Okay, so we've added basic authentication to our application, and now we're going to add the authentication with social accounts so that you'll be able to log in, for example, via Google or GitHub or Twitter or Facebook or whatever other account. So let's do it. Now for this, first we'll start with Google, and we will need the gem OmniAuth Google Auth 2. Okay, I'm Googling this gem. Here's this gem, and I'm going to add this gem to our gem file. Now you see we are reconnecting. From time to time it happens. Sometimes you need to enter your password once again. Sometimes you don't need to do anything. Okay. Now we are going further. We need to go to the console, developers Google.com, and create our application for Google API. So I'm already logged in here. Now I'm going to create a new project. It's going to be called Ruby Gems Bootcamp. Create. Okay, it's been created. Now I will navigate to this project. I can do it like this. Okay, next I'm going to this maybe enable API keys. No, it's not what I need now. I'm going to auth consent screen because it's the first thing we need to do. So it's going to be external. We're going to let anybody log in. Then app name, you can give your app name. I will name it Ruby Gems Bootcamp. User support email, my email. Then you can add some kind of logo. I'm not going to add any logo now. Then the application domain. For now, it's going to be just this domain that I'm using for AWS. You can just add localhost, for example. Then I'm not going to add the privacy policy in terms of service link from the beginning. And next, authorized domain. So it's going to be amazonaws.com. And developer contact information, my email once again. And let's see if it works. So we have added an OAuth consent screen. Now we need to add some scopes. So we will need the user email, some kind of personal info, and let's say OpenID. We'll select everything, update, save and continue. Test users, we don't need any. Summary, okay. Let's go back to dashboard. So we're doing all this work so that Google gives us API keys which we can use to log in using Google. So we've created an auth consent screen, and now we can create credentials. It's going to be an API key. No, actually, no, not an API key. I will delete this one. It's going to be auth client ID. Application type web application. Name, once again, Ruby Gems Bootcamp. And here we need to have our authorized URLs. So here's going to be the URL of our application, and authorized redirect URL is going to be, let's see, it's going to be something like slash. So slash users auth Google auth 2 callback. Now it's just the way it has to be. But notice here we're going to users auth. Here we put Google auth 2 callback. And for example, when we'll be using GitHub, the same for GitHub, we are going to add GitHub callback. Okay, we are creating these credentials. And here we have our secret credentials. So we can add them to device.rb. Let's go to config, initializers, device.rb, and here we will find OmniAuthable. So we're going to configure OmniAuth, not for GitHub now, but for now the provider is called Google Auth 2, like this. So provider is Google Auth 2, and here are our keys, our client ID, and our client secret. Like this. Okay. Next, what do we do? Let's say OK here. And let's go back to the documentation. Okay. Next, we need to go to user.rb. So app, models, user RB. We will say omni-authable so that the user can be logged in with omni-auth. And we will say omni-auth providers, Google or auth2. So we are going to permit the user to log in with Google. Okay. Next, we need to go to our roots and add a new controller, users omni-auth callbacks. Let's go to controllers, actually to our roots. And here, previously for device, we've added controllers confirmations. We will just add this here, comma, omni-auth callbacks will be in users omni-auth callbacks. And actually we can move our confirmations to users/confirmations. So we will go here and in our controllers, we're going to create a new folder. It's going to be called users. We will first of all move our confirmations controller into users. And we are going to create a new file called omni-auth callbacks controller inside app controllers users omni-auth callbacks controller and add this users omni-auth callbacks controller. Now we have our confirmations controller moved into users confirmations controller. And here we actually need to also add users in this confirmations controller. So what have we done? We have just moved the confirmations controller into the folder users in our roots and in our controllers. And we have created a new controller. So in roots, we say omni-auth callbacks leads to users omni-auth callbacks. And here we have the strategy to log in with Google. Okay, let's see if it works. Before we do anything else, we will start the Rails server once again. Okay, I didn't run bundle, so I'm running bundle, installing the gems, and now I start Rails server. Okay, and you see, by default, we already have this button, sign in with Google Auth2. I press, okay, I can log in. I'll try, let's say, this email address. Okay, and undefined method from omni-auth. Okay. Now, maybe we need to add this command to this method to user.rb. Let's try. Okay, and I will clean it up a bit. So data equals access token info. Uncomment the section below if you want users to be created if they don't exist. Yes, we want users to be created if they don't exist yet. So we are uncommenting this section. Okay, now this is just plain text. We don't need it. Here we have unless user, create a user. Now we don't have a user name. We just have email and password. Okay. And this method looks simple enough, meaning we've removed the complexity and now it must work well in our application. And I've restarted the server. So sign in with Google. I select an account and it's successfully authenticated from Google account, but actually we are not logged in. Now that's interesting. Let's see what the problem is. So let's log in with an existing user. Here we have 3 users. The user was created, but he was not confirmed, and that's why he couldn't log in. So to this method in user RB, they're just going to say that the user will be automatically confirmed. So here we will add user confirmed at time now. Okay, let's try to log in with Google once again. Sign in with Google, the same account, and it worked. Okay, let's go back. Let's sign in with Google from another account. And it worked. So now when we sign in with a social media account, they are automatically confirming our account at the same time. And basically, we can already log in with Google. So the basic functionality is added. And that's it for this lecture. Thank you. Oh, and just let's summarize once again. What did we do? So in gem file, we added the gem. Then in device RB, we added this config omniauth, and here we put in the API keys, the ID and the secret that Google provided us. So to get them from Google, we went to Google APIs, created an application, created an omniauth consent screen, and set up the credentials. And here we got this auth to client IDs, and here we get the credentials. Then we went to user RB and added omniauthable to device and added this method where we say that confirmed at time now, and we either find a user that exists with the Google data, Google email, or we create a new user. Then in routes, we added one more controller. We added users omniauth callbacks controller, and in app controllers users, we added this omniauth callbacks controller, and we didn't change anything here. So that's it.